What's going on, everybody? Nathan here with the Everyday Drinker, bringing you guys a brand spanking new episode. Today's episode, we are unboxing a couple of samples. Now, I did a video of me trying a couple of Scotch whiskeys a couple weeks ago, and Kurt caught wind of that. Kurt himself is a huge Scotch whiskey guy, and he just uploaded a video a couple weeks ago as well on the top beginner Scotches for bourbon drinkers. And he sent me those samples. So we're going to break this box open and see what they taste like. Give me a little note, super cool, awesome guy, love you, Kurt. You put out fantastic content. So all of these were in his videos, and there's a couple of others that are his favorites. So let's see what we have inside. We have Glenfarclas 105. We have Glenmorangie 12. Glenfiddich 14. Bunnahabhain 12. Glenmorangie. And finally, Compass Box Spice Tree. So let's pour these in their respective glasses and let's see what they taste like. Alrighty guys, so before we get into the tastings and nosings of all of these, I want to let you guys know we are crushing it with the subscribers and the likes and the comments and the views. You guys are killing it. We are currently right at that 615 subscriber mark, so keep smashing it. At 1,000 subscribers, we're doing 4 sample giveaway of Blanton's Eagle Rare, Weller Special Reserve, and Wild Turkey Rare Breed. So you're getting 4 2-ounce samples if you win that 1,000 subscriber giveaway. So make sure you're smashing that subscribe button because you guys are absolutely killing it. Also, we just hit the 600 subscriber mark. So the day that this video goes up, I'm going to be doing a live stream on this channel at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that because that is going to be awesome. So let's get right into the nose. All right, guys, so we're going to start on our left. We're going to work our way through to the right. All of these are in their respective glasses, so it's not a blind. I'm just going in to see which one I like best. So starting on our left, we have the Glenmorangie 12. So Glenmorangie 12 is bottled at 46%, and it is a Speyside single malt whiskey. Ooh, a little bit of honey, a bit of grass. Get a lot of honey. Maybe a little pear or apple in there. It smells sweet. Let's get into the palate. That's nice. That's really nice. I'm getting like a little bit of like a bitter fruit, almost like a grapefruit almost. And then I get a little bit of honey sweetness, a little bit of that grassy, earthy tone, and then it just fades away. That's actually really pleasant. Really wasn't what I was expecting. So let's move on to the second glass. Second glass here is Glenmorangie. Now Glenmorangie, I have had once at a bar, and it was a couple years ago, and I think I liked it, but I'm not quite sure. We're going to dive back into this bad boy. So Glenmorangie is a single malt Highland Scotch bottled at 86 proof. So let's get into the nose. Ooh, a little bit brighter than this guy. Yeah, a little bit more on that like sweeter note. Like it got a little bit of confectioner sugar, a little bit of like a honeydew. It's very melon forward. It smells like honeydew, a little bit of cantaloupe, maybe a little watermelon. This is very melony. That's a name, not a word. All right, let's get into the palate. It's a little softer. That guy right there, this guy right here, a little bit more bold on the flavors. This one is a little softer. I'm getting a little bit of that maltiness, but instead of like just honey syrup, I'm getting like the honeycomb, like the darker, richer flavor of it, which is interesting. Really good as well. But the melon goes into the palate as well. But I'm still getting that grapefruit flavor. I don't know what that is about these two so far, that I'm getting grapefruit out of them, but it's that like bittersweet almost. That's really nice too. Let's move on to glass number 3. Glass number 3 is Bunnahabhain 12. So Bunnahabhain 12 is an Islay single malt. This is bottled at 46.3%. You guys know what I think about Islas. Let's see if I can get past that finger paint, if it has it at all. Oh, okay. No. So the finger paint is there, but I also, a lot of guys say they get Band-Aid. I just got Band-Aid. Getting a little bit of like a lemon zest. Maybe a little waxy. A little smoke. A slight vanilla. A little dusty. Let's get into the palate. Yep. That Bunnahabhain 12. I'm getting that finger paint, a little bit of that Band-Aid, that lemon zest hits you, And then it just, whoa, the finish. It just goes into like a oaky, dries your mouth out, and then like I'm wanting to sip some water. Here we go. It's not bad. It's not bad. That's really not that bad. I can drink that. I can tolerate that if I was poured that at somebody's house. The Talisker and the other one that I had a couple weeks ago, maybe not. But not my cup of tea. Not my cup of tea. That Bunnahabhain 12 is currently in last place. So let's move on to glass number 4. Glass number 4 is Glenfiddich 14. Now, I've never had a Glenfiddich in my life, so we're going to see what this 14 is all about. So Glenfiddich is bottled at 43%, so let's see if we can find anything interesting in here. Kind of smells like a bourbon almost. I'm getting a lot of sweetness, a little bit of that vanilla, a little caramel, a little bit of apple. It smells really good, actually. Wow, this smells really good. Maybe like a little confectioner's sugar on top of like candied apple almost on that. Let's get into the palate. Wow, that's my favorite so far. That's really good. Just sweetness overload. Reminds me of a bourbon almost, or maybe not like a bourbon, but like an American single malt where it's aged in a new oak. I think that the Glenfiddich is aged in bourbon barrels. Not quite sure on that one. I'll have to double check on that one and leave a little annotation right here for you guys. But I think it's aged in bourbon barrels. That's really good. It's just a sweetness overload on the tongue. Confectioner's sugar, but then that finish is a little bit of apple. There's a little bit of cherry. There's some honey. There's a little bit of caramel, a little bit of toffee. This guy right here is number 1 right now. So let's pop that guy right there because that's my number 1. Let's move on to glass number 5. Glass number 5 is Compass Box Spice Tree. Now, Compass Box is bottled at 46%. So let's see what we can find in this bad boy. Ooh, a little bit of cinnamon, a little bit of pear, a little apricot maybe. Lots of fruits in here. Ooh, like a key lime, like a sweeter lime than your regular lime. Lots of zest in there. Wow. There's one note in there that I can't get the name of off the tip of my tongue. Maybe a little clove, star anise. All right, guys, let's get into the palate. It's very mellow. Very, very mellow. Very surprising from the nose. Let's sip it one more time. So I'm getting this like bittersweet fruit, not grapefruit. Not quite sure what exactly it is. I'm getting a little bit of that like honeyness that I usually get from scotches. Maybe a slight peach. And then it tails off into this like bitterness that's really not bad, but also not my cup of tea. This is really interesting because the nose on this one is so good. I could smell it all day. But the flavor is just not there. Let's move on to the last guy on our right. The last guy on our right is the Glenfarclas 105. Now, the Glenfarclas 105 is a single malt Highland Scotch whiskey, and I believe that this is also a cask strength. So, this one might be a little bit more flavorful than the other ones. So, let's dig in. A little pepper. Maybe, what was that? There's a little smokiness going on there, too. I'm getting like dried pine needles. Like you're walking through like I live in New Jersey and we have the Pine Barrens, and I've lived in the Pine Barrens all my life. They're in South to Central Jersey, and I mean you just when you're walking in the Pine Barrens, you know what you're smelling. It is that pine needle, the pine sap that is in this glass. This is really not that bad smelling at all. A little sweet, little earthy. Almost smells like a campfire almost. A little lemon there. That honey comes through. Every scotch I get a little bit of honey. Every little scotch I get a little bit of honey. Let's get into the palate. Wow. That's so soft. That is so soft, but it's really good. This one is right there, right up there with the Glenfiddich 14. Wow. I got like a little bit of butterscotch, a little bit of that smokiness. It was like a sweet and spicy going on. That's one that you could explore for a little bit. You could really, I'm getting like, like a charred, I get a charredness on that bad boy. That's really interesting. Getting a little bit of like a charred marshmallow, but then that fades quick. And then I'm getting bit of oak, a little bit of smoke, and then a little bit of apple as well. Really interesting. That is right up there with the Glenfiddich 14. So these two right here were my favorites. The Glenfiddich 14 and the Glenfarclas 105. This one was in the tail. And then these three here were mid-tier for me. Kurt, I can't thank you enough for sending me these Scotch whiskeys. I will definitely be adding these two to my shelves. These three might be added, and then I'm just not a big fan of the Isla Scotches. That smoky, peated, whatever they have going on, that Band-Aid to finger paint thing, I guess I have to get an acquired taste for it. And I guess Scotch drinkers have it. Me, myself, I haven't gotten that yet. I thank you so much for sending these to me. I hope you enjoyed the samples I sent to you. These ones right here were absolutely fantastic. But until next time, guys, it's been Nathan with The Everyday Drinker. Cheers.